Hi Jim, we're looking ahead to Saturday's match. It's Dundee United at Cappielow, the league leaders. Can I get your thoughts heading into the game, please?
Yeah, I mean, it's a terrific match to look forward to. As you mentioned, Dundee United, I think, were most people's favourites at the start of the season to get promoted. They're now at the top of the league, so you know, they're the team that you know, everyone, I think, looks at and sees the quality in there and knows how difficult the challenge will be. But it's one I think the players are looking forward to.
They have a new manager now. Does that make any difference from your perspective?
Well, it makes a little bit of difference. And Csaba Laszlo's been in there, and he's only been in a few weeks, so I think they have changed their style a bit since Ray McKinnon went in. But they've had some good results, you know, over recent weeks. I think they've picked up a lot of points, and a terrific result last week against Dunfermline. But like everything in this league, you know, they're coming to Cappielow. We want to make it as difficult a game as we possibly can for them, and you know, try and make it an uncomfortable day for them. But we know that you know, as I say, they have a lot of quality in their team. They've got a lot of ability. They're obviously you know, very well organised. And as I said, that, you know, they're rightfully, I think, people's favourites. But this division, as I said, week in, week out, is notorious for you know, results that people wouldn't bank on. So let's hope it's another one this weekend.
With the teams in this league, you play each other so often, you get to know each other so well. With a new manager coming in at Dundee United, does that make it difficult for you as a manager to sort of size up the opposition and how you think they'll approach the game and your tactics? Does it make
no,
any difference?
Not really. No, because I saw them a couple of weeks ago against Falkirk. I've had them watched obviously since then as well. So no, all you can do is, you know, you can respect the opposition, you know, the individual players, the system they play, and then you've got to focus on your own game. So we'll try and do that, and when we play at our best, then I think we're capable of a result against anyone, including Dundee United.
Last week it was Brechin City. They were bottom of the league. You go from that to the opposite extreme to top of the league. But is there any difference to the approach that you take as a manager, approaching the different sort of level of team, or is it just
no, I don't think that. Myself or the players have a different approach to it. You can't, because I think that'd be disrespectful, you know, and I think you can't pick and choose which teams you think you should be up for or a little bit more determined against. You know, you have to be ready for every game. But I think that in terms of the expectation level, I think, as I said last week, most people think we should win that game, and therefore there's maybe not the same atmosphere that you might get in this type of game. People can maybe sit back and expect you to take the game to Brechin, which we did do, and we played very well. This game, I think it'll be, you know, I think we know there'll be spells in the game where the Dundee United will have control of it, and we've got to make sure that we're resilient in that spell. But in the time that we have opportunities, then, you know, we've got to take them. So I think there's probably less expectation on us, but you know, that's just from the general outset. But we've put a lot of expectation on ourselves, and we expect to do well, and we expect to go there to play on Saturday, mean at our best, and make it, as I said, you know, hopefully a very positive outcome for us at the end of the match.
We were doing your programme notes the other day, and you mentioned that you see this as, besides the derby, is probably the biggest game in the league for Morton, is having Dundee United at Cappielow.
Well, it is. I mean, you look at Dundee United, you look at the club, you look at the stadium, the resources, the training grounds, everything they've got, the quality of players they've got. You know, they're a club who, in every other aspect, they're a Premier League club. A little bit like some of the top ones that have been in the division over recent years, and Hibs, Hearts, Rangers, Dundee United. You know, no one really thought that these clubs would be in the Championship and in for any concerted period of time, but it just shows you how difficult a league it is when these clubs have had to maybe spend a little bit longer in that division. And Dundee United, as I said, are one of those clubs, one of Scotland's top clubs, there's no question about that, Jonathan, at this moment in time, but they're in the same division as us, and we've got to make sure that you know, there's no inferiority complex from us, but we totally understand that the United, as I said, as a club, are a Premier League club, but you know, we've got to make sure that we match them in every aspect that we can do. Forget the resources, forget the support level they've got, and the finance, all that kind of stuff. We've got to forget that. We've got to go in there 11v11 on Saturday, match up with them, and be equally as determined as them. And as I said before, I think if we play our best, then we're capable of getting a positive result.
I think that's something you've mentioned before, is that the team have proved this season on their day they're a match for anyone in this division.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's you know, it's a season that's fluctuating from everybody. You see teams having spells where 2 or 3 games and they find themselves really up at the top end, and then they maybe lose 2 or 3 games, they drop down a few places, and that's the way I think it'll continue to go, because I really genuinely don't think anyone will really get a right head of steam up. But possibly towards the end of the season you might find teams getting that bit of confidence and belief in motoring forward, but I think up until the last quarter I think there will still be an awful lot of teams having a real battle for places, even just in the top 4. I think is going to be really cutthroat. But at this moment in time, I think we're in decent form, and you want to get into this game in good form, and hopefully we can continue that Saturday.
Yeah, could there have any team news, Jim?
Yeah, just a long-term injuries, a legal day, and obviously Jim McGowan's got a dislocated shoulders we mentioned. But everyone else seems to be back in contention. Gordon McManus has trained for a full week now. Probably too early to pitch him straight into this type of game, but he's certainly back in the squad training, and everyone else is okay.
Excellent, Jim. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks very much.